Make your own alterations. Better than logic, because he's better than logic. Collecting the plaudits in his dress pockets. An idiot simpleton sewing words noisily into this diligent goldwork embroidery, leaving a message before leaving town, in speech unedited as your evening gown, ekphrastic of the gloom the dark entails, a basket as the hoops of farthingales, hoop earrings, the circular logic, better than logic because better than logic, this bodice, restrictive as the corset, a prophet reading scripture for the form of it, making his own alterations, pages of a poem tall and courageous, a Day Lewis, this phantom thread, haunting the nudist, laughing in bed, better than logic, because he's better than logic, collecting the plaudits in his dress pockets. As the cohort unbuttons his dress, knowing war, the cousin of death, that golden form, the muslin weft, woven through the warp of his regress infinite, this primitive needlework, livid, as sinners and evil were, sick with it, as grinning on his t-shirt this Christmas, the film from DreamWorks, advertising truth as the G-string and A-line, this moon man speaking, who moonwalked as no human being before this date, perfumed with meaning, vomiting his eau de toilette, wafting as the souls of the dead, better than logic, because he's better than logic, collecting the plaudits in his dress pockets. In strophes valid as the weave he wore, he goes back to the weed store, stopping first perhaps for a manicure, ignorant of his balance. He's that sure of himself, sung as the red Versace dress, well hung as the dead analyst, posing for the Polaroid, holding a parasol, bucking rhyme conventions as a Kai solo, posing in slashed sleeves, blasphemy, bold as the black tree, squiggly in the representation, an elegant painting, ever the pale king, Socratic he pesters, are you so sure? Zapping with zest avant-garde their haute couture, better than logic, because he's better than logic, collecting the plaudits in his dress pockets. Fashionable as the tunic torn, too radical to ignore, as you record this too short, as records of the Punic Wars, he's perfect, in a pink turtleneck, or even in a pink dirndl, yet imperfect, as the past he's lost, as the wordless letters fastened to his frock, mnemonic, as you learn your lesson, dressed in dissent, his verbal peplum, better than logic, because he's better than logic, collecting the plaudits in his dress pockets.